You're now listening to No Gimmicks.
No Gimmicks podcast. No gimmicks is the feeling.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the No Gimmicks podcast here on the DFPN. We are back with our Texas Independent Wrestling series. We are moving around Texas, North Texas to be specific, and we have someone who we had on the show before, invited us to the show. We love the show, and they're coming back this time around with another loaded show and quickly making waves around the Fort Worth area. And it's just awesome to see when people make that leap and they rise and the buzz when they put on the show. I said this last time we had this guy on. When they put on the show, it seems like all eyes are on his promotion, and it's no different this time. But this time there's a lot of stakes at hand on this show. We're going to be crowning a brand new champion on his show, the first champion of any kind that will be crowned on this show, and that is from Dragonslayer Pro Wrestling. The show is Legacy. The man himself joining me tonight, Mr. Don Richmond. Welcome back to No Gimmicks, sir.
Yep. Hey, thank you. Thanks, Kevin. Kelvin, I always a pleasure. Always happy to talk wrestling with you.
Love it, man. Love it. And joining me also, he's not on screen tonight, but he's here in the flesh, Mr. JJ Jefferson. Welcome, sir. Welcome back to the show.
Always a pleasure to be on the show. Dawn, pleasure to meet you. Hopefully one of these days in person. I got to get out there to Dragonslayer. I've been keeping up, and I'm excited for what you guys have in store. Definitely a fan.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I love to meet you. When I hear your name, though, all I think of is an old wide receiver that used to play for the San Diego Chargers. I don't know if you ever heard that JJ Jefferson was a wide receiver.
I have. I actually have.
I sure have. Yeah,
awesome.
I get that a lot. You know, Justin Jefferson with the Vikings. It's a, family thing of sorts, I hope.
Sure. That's where you get all your money, right?
Yep. Absolutely, man. But let's dive into this show real quick, because this is a show. Dragonslayer, like I said, like we mentioned on the last show, you guys aren't often, like you don't run too often, but when you run, you bring a lot to the table. And one of the best things that you bring to the table is the unique type of storytelling you do. And you're able to keep that up from show to show. This show, we're going to be crowning a brand new champion, a woman's champion. And that's off the heels of a tournament that you ran the past couple of shows that you had. Talk to me a little bit about the tournament, your thoughts on the tournament as a whole, this match that you have between Fiona McPherson and Misty Marks for the first ever Women's Dragonslayer Championship. What are your thoughts on this as a whole?
Yeah, it's and as you know, Kelvin, I think that women's wrestling is underserved on the independent scene. There's a lot of incredible talent that deserves to get out there. And so it has been one of our primary goals is to let the people of the independent world and of North Texas specifically see what talent's there. And so we really have put a strong emphasis on the ladies and making sure that they are seen. We decided to embark on that and that's, sometimes you want to, what differentiates us? And you touched on a couple of things. One is you're always going to see 3 or 4 women's matches in a show, because of how I feel about that. You're also we do run quarterly right now. This is our second year. We've done 6 shows in a year and a half, right?
Yep.
A lot of places will have 6 shows in 6 months, 6 shows in 6 weeks. One, that's hard to do. I respect that they can turn it around like that. But two, while we're establishing who we are, we want to be an event. We want people to say, hey, this is a Dragonslayer month. What we are going to is we're going to see Dragonslayer. And if especially when you're growing, if you're out there a little too much, my fear is people are like, oh, we'll catch it next week. Right. But I want you to say, oh, wow, hey, July. Okay, we got Dragonslayer. Let's mark that one down. We're going to be at that one. Right. And so when you do that, though, that raises the bar on your show. And that is why then we want to really make sure that we hit you with good talent, good story show. You're going to get to see local favorites, but you're also going to get to see people that you may not be familiar with. But by the end, you're like, okay, I like that guy, or I like her. She's somebody I'm gonna follow. So we really try to mix that up. And again, then that's also leads to our venue. We're at the Ridgely Theater. I really like the theatrical backdrop to professional wrestling. We like, and I like, theatrics in wrestling even. So as we try to appeal not to just a wrestling fan, but to a fan that wants to be entertained and wants to see a unique style of live entertainment, then it brings in the theatrics as well, right? So what better way to do that than in a theater? I think that when people walk in for the first time, they turn the corner and they go in and they see the lighting of the theater and they see our curtains and they're like, whoa, this looks like something, right? This looks special. I didn't know what to expect, but so we really try to put an emphasis on trying to just have that style, give people a little different flavor of what they're going to see in wrestling. So
I love that. And I know JJ has a question on this, but I can tell you from experience being in there in the Ridgely, it is a very unique, it's surprisingly open too. Because you wouldn't expect that, but it's surprisingly open. It does add an element of theater to it, and it's unique. It's something that I haven't seen before, so I can definitely echo what you're saying on that. But JJ, what you got, bro?
Yeah, so one of the first things I want to say, especially to Dawn, you said a lot just a second ago, but one thing that stood out to me was how you guys run quarterly and the way that you guys run. Being a fan of wrestling, whether it's independent or mainstream, you touched on something, right? You can find yourself getting burnt out a little bit. And so being able to say, hey, July is Dragonslayer month, that's exciting. Like, it gives you something to look forward to build on. And it's like, oh, I definitely circle this one on my calendar. I want to make sure I'm there. So that I appreciate as a fan for you guys doing that. And then the second thing, we touched on it a little bit before we came on air. For anyone that knows me, I'm a professional parks and recreation. That's my career. So I'm a venues guy. I came from Grand Prairie at the Epic, and down here right now, I'm in Fort Worth at a couple different community centers. So for me, hearing you guys run at the Ridgely Theater, I was like, oh, a theater? That's unique. You don't really see that a lot. So what does that mean to you guys running in a venue like the Ridgely Theater?
Yeah, it's like I said, I love the vibe. It's the wrestlers love the vibe too, right? Because it's a theater, you already have a really nice, ample backstage area too, right? We run post-match interviews in the back during the show that then run on our YouTube channel later, because we have that space. We're afforded that possibility. So there's so much space there. It allows us to grow tremendously too. A good thing and a bad thing with that is, you can be in our theater and think, oh wow, it's not very full. Well, there's 200 people here. You don't really notice, right? Because that theater can absorb so many. Not to mention having a balcony as well. But so we are working on trying to make sure we can get that group, make it feel intimate, and everybody, there isn't a bad seat as it is. It's wide open, but yeah, I love the vibe. I'm a theater person anyway in my heart, right? So I just love the way you can expand on it and really entertain in ways I think we probably just scratched the surface in 6 shows.
I agree with that. And just being 6 shows in, just being at one of the shows, it's like it's definitely something different. If it's intimate but open, there's room to move around. But there, like you said, there is no bad seat in the house. So it's really awesome. It's a really unique thing. JJ, we definitely got to make the trek for this show, because there's some people on this show that I need to talk about that are on this card, and it has me really excited about it.
Hey, all you got to do is tell me the dates. I know the time. I know the place. I will gladly be there. And it's exciting. I know we touched on it a little bit pre-show, and we're going to dig into it some more. But I just want to go ahead and stir the pot and let people know, if you haven't already, make sure you follow Dragonslayer Wrestling on YouTube. You can see past shows, all this content, the interviews. Like, that's how I keep up. And I'm excited to be able to go and enjoy my first show. So please, 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 please check out their YouTube page. You want to keep up, especially as we march toward Legacy.
Yes, absolutely. But let's talk about a match that actually, when I saw it, you mentioned this card is women's matches heavy as per the Dragonslayer cards. But one match in particular has me really excited. Beyond the main event, the champion that you're crowning, Jasmine Howe versus Alejandra Quintanilla, is a banger. That is a banger of a match. How did you think of this one? Because that's mad genius stuff right there.
Yeah, it's because we're in the early stages. I do keep the booking to myself, although I have people that I look for their counsel, right, and their experience. But I have the luxury of, because we run quarterly and because we truly have gained a little bit of a buzz within the independent scene, I have wrestlers coming at me saying, I want on your show. I want in there. I want to get me in the next show, right? And the guys' competition is really heavy because guys aren't used to, hey, I only got 6 spots.
Yeah.
Right. But that also allows us to have really, really good storylines and develop through. Alejandra is a busy woman. She's wrestling all over the place. And it would not surprise me any day that I hear that she signs a contract somewhere. But and I hope she does. I reached out to her. She is actually our inaugural Dragonslayer Cup champion. I don't know if were you at that one, Kelvin?
I was not at that one. I missed that one.
So we have what we call the melee. We've had one for men and for women now. We have 8. 4 come in at a time. As one is eliminated, another comes in. So we've always got 4 going until ultimately we're down to the last 4. And then ultimately, kind of battle royal-esque, you're down to a final. And Alejandra won the women's Dragonslayer Cup, which is the inaugural one. We had the women's Dragonslayer Cup before we had a men's Dragonslayer Cup. And I spoke to her then and told her when she's available to keep me posted because we'd love to have her. And so, things worked out, made sure that we had her on this July card. Jasmine Howe was on our very first show in January of 2025. People around here probably haven't seen her as much. I do believe she did wrestle at MPX once since that show. But she is based in the Carolinas. But she, as most hungry, good wrestlers are, they really want to get exposure across to other markets, and had reached out to me, and so we established a working relationship when she came in before. I've wanted to get her back in, but we've had a lot of stories going on. We've had the tournament, and the tournament we were specifically focused on Texas wrestlers. At that case, because just as much for the focus on the Texas wrestlers, but for availability, because they had to be available for 3 consecutive shows. And so this being now the tournament is all but over, gave us that opening so we could get Jasmine back in. It just seemed natural. Jasmine's a heavy hitter. And Alejandra has faced a lot of the best. So we'll see how that one goes. It should be a really, like I told you before, that we have, who knows which one could be the main event. Any one of them could steal the show, and that being one of them. That's one to see for sure.
Most definitely. I saw this match and my eyes lit up because I do know about Jasmine Howe, and her versus La Leona. Oh my goodness, that's a crazy matchup. Like, styles make fights, and that's probably the best of both styles. So that's one I'm definitely keeping my eyes on. But that you got Eddie Martinez versus Hio del Enigma on this card. Another fire matchup. You have a fallout from the tournament. Evelyn Carter, who cost Morgan Mercy a shot at it by beating her, and she's going up against Nova Phoenix, who wants to get revenge for Morgan Mercy. So love that matchup. Yeah,
and I'll tell you, even Morgan blames Evelyn also just for being a distraction. In her other matches, Morgan was able to get over in a second chance match, but because of, in Morgan's eyes, Evelyn distracting things was what allowed Fiona to get the win over Morgan. So Morgan feels robbed from her chance at being the champion. Nova had graciously stepped aside while her partner went through the tournament, and now is back to try to put the rest this challenge that her partner has had to endure.
Yeah, that's going to be a crazy matchup. Evelyn is always a loose cannon, and I love it. I love her in Dragonslayer, honestly. It just seems like it's a perfect fit for her, and just the theatrics, it just works, and I love what she's doing there. But going up against Nova Phoenix, not an easy cake day at all. I do like that. There was a curveball thrown at me, because I thought if you would have asked me, my finals would have been Morgan Mercy versus Misty Marks. That was in my head. That was the finals. So the curveball of Fiona actually getting a win here, I loved it. It was a very nice curveball that just threw off my expectations. And when you could do that, you got me. So I love it.
Yeah, there were a lot of. Another person who is now local but wasn't when she started with Dragonslayer, is Mackenzie Morgan. A lot of people felt like Mackenzie Morgan had a strong chance to make it to the finals. Now, the way the draw went, MKZ went up against Misty in the semifinals, and Misty got over on her. So, but I'm sure MKZ wants to be back and exact her revenge too.
I'm pretty sure, and I like that. So definitely something to see what, especially with the championship match, the stakes being what they are. And who knows, Fiona may be, she's a dark horse right now. She may walk out of there the champion with some unexpected, consequences. I
mean, it takes 3 seconds, right? And
that's it.
Fiona has a martial arts background. She's hard to take off her feet, and she definitely has a fan following. So she's going to have support of the Ridgely Theater when she goes up against Misty.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. But let's talk about people you have announced for this. You have Nobi Bryant, Dante Casanova, which El Aguiar is that's a get right there.
Yeah.
You have Nobi Bryant, Dante Casanova, Savage Kings announced for this card. Richard Holiday, for people who are unfamiliar with him in Texas, labeled one of the best independent wrestlers in the nation right now, if not the world. I'm just going to say the world because I don't want to be – I want to be spared the signature move. Thank you for sparing me, Mr. Holiday.
Nobody's exempt, Kelvin.
Nobody's exempt from the signature move. But yeah, you have a lot of eyes simply because of these guys that you have coming in. Former NWA champions, belt holders on this card, multiple time champions in other promotions coming to this card. Just this is a very stacked card. Would you consider this card to be kind of like the biggest card of the year for you, or is it something that you're trying to raise the bar with these shows? Because this one definitely feels like it's the most stacked card that you put on.
I mean, this one came together, and somebody, because again, Nobi Bryant, at the bare minimum, one of the best in Texas, right? Dante Casanova, likely to be on your television set in the next year or two, right? And former NWA Midwest champion. Richard Holiday, arguably the best wrestler on the indies today. And I believe is still the current NWA Midwest champion. He defeated Dante. Like you said, Savage King, incredible wrestler, has been around for quite some time. And then who I don't think I heard you say, Sam Adonis. Sam Adonis, right? Who is, while some people don't know him in the U.S., he's arguably one of the biggest independent wrestlers today too. He gets probably 85% of his bookings though are in the lucha scene. He will most weekends be traveling all around Mexico, and he will probably again this week for our show he'll work Dragonslayer on Thursday and then be in Mexico Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Crazy. That's crazy.
So an incredible list of men, and that's we already mentioned Eddie Martinez and Hijo del Enigma. Del Enigma, another person that people won't get to see very often. He's based in Puerto Rico. I don't think he's been back in the U.S. since he was at Dragonslayer last year. So there's a rare opportunity to see an incredible Puerto Rican wrestler. Dante Casanova has had 5 matches in Texas, period. 4 of them are Dragonslayer and one at MPX. So it's an incredible list of people to see. Now, how all those men shape up, got to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You're going to see what matches are going to come together there, or you might get a few spoilers if you watch some of our past matches on YouTube and see what happened at the last show. So yeah, as far as is this the biggest, it was not a plan to be a culmination, for this show, but it definitely shapes up to probably be what people would say the biggest regarded card that we've had. We've had other, because I don't want to say that you can count out Edge Stone or Miles Hawkins, right? Or Justin Taylor, or, when you start thinking of all the other names we've had, Cappuccino Jones was on our very first show, Barrett Brown, the list goes on. So, but these are some, especially on the men's side, these are very established, really, really high quality wrestlers. So, man, the people that are in the Ridgely Theater for this will be walking out going, "Wow, that was some show."
Can confirm. Can confirm that. JJ, you got anything, bro?
Man, I've been listening to what you guys are talking about, the names coming to this card. I am more and more and more pumped about this show. I cannot wait. Dawn, it is a pleasure to talk with you, chat with you. Again, kudos to you and the team at Dragonslayer for all that you guys are doing. Big things are definitely on the horizon. And yeah, I haven't seen this signature move from Richard Holiday. So, Kelvin, I think you might have to, have my back. Make sure I don't get hit with the signature move.
Hey, listen, I talked to Richard Holiday personally. He told me no one's exempt. Not even me. So, no, that means no one's exempt.
You will see it coming, because Richard will tell you he does not hit his signature move from behind.
This is true.
You will see it coming. I don't know if that's probably not good. You'd probably rather not see it coming.
Hey, it's okay. I can respect it. At least he gave me a fair heads up, and I knew what I was getting myself into.
Hey, good luck. And may the odds be ever in your favor, sir.
Yeah.
But that's all I got for tonight, Don. Thank you for your time. Please let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, I appreciate the time, and will always be happy to come back and chat with you guys. And it doesn't have to be Dragonslayer. If you want to hit, the indie scene or the history of wrestling, happy to be part of that too.
Absolutely.
But yeah, please follow us, because that's important to any independent wrestling organization as well. And it means a lot to us. So as we've been talking about, you can see past matches and interviews and some promos on our YouTube page. It is Dragonslayer Pro Wrestling. If you're not used to YouTube, you can subscribe for free, and that way you get notices when new content goes up. Don't have to worry about it costing you anything, and then of course you also can see announcements. Some of the announcements that JJ and Kelvin have referred to, they've seen, I'm sure, on our social media, Instagram. Again, I believe the Instagram is Dragonslayer_PW. But we have different names for, of course, every channel. But you can also find us on Facebook, on X. You get us a little bit on TikTok. We're still trying to navigate that one. But yeah, you can definitely, you won't miss anything if you check out Dragonslayer Pro Wrestling on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. And I'm happy to say that if you just search our name, you're going to see material even that isn't our content, because we've had our fans sharing content and out there and promoting stuff too. So you'll get to see what we're about. We've had a few surveys tracking and listing Dragonslayer as as one of the better independent wrestling organizations, and we get recognized if you were to enter like independent wrestling in DFW. We are one of the top 3 names that comes up, referencing us and to come see our shows. So, and we want to make it fun. It is not something that if you haven't seen a lot of wrestling, although I know if you're listening to No Gimmicks, you're probably a wrestling fan.
Yep.
But bring along a non-wrestling fan. Work them through it. Let them know, hey, we're just going to go see a live show. There is a full bar at the Ridgely. We'll have a food truck outside. The wrestlers are very gracious and available to meet the fans, take photos. They'll have their merchandise there available, and just kick back and enjoy an evening of live entertainment at a good price. General admission is $20. Ages 5 to 12 is just $10. And even the very best seats in the house, although they're all good, the very best seats in the house, front row is $35. So you will be up close and personal with them, and you will have a good time. I do not doubt that you will enjoy your evening.
Absolutely, and I'm definitely looking forward to this card. Like I said, it's a stacked card, so there's a lot of who's who on this card that I'm anxious to see. I haven't seen Richard Holiday wrestle in a while, so I'm definitely interested. Him, Jasmine Howe. There's a Sam Adonis. Anytime he comes through, he's always interacting with the crowd, and it's awesome. So it's a show that I'm very much looking forward to. And oh, by the way, there's high stakes on the show, so can't ask for more. Really,
exactly. There are a lot of high stakes. Something we didn't talk about is Savage King is. I won't spoil it for you, but if you check out the men's melee that you'll see on our YouTube channel, you'll see why this becomes a very high stakes match for Savage King.
Oh, is it? I don't know. I don't want to spoil it. Go watch it.
Yeah.
Go watch it. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, that's if it's who I'm thinking. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
like
So, it's and we're going to see if there's a big name that you don't see here. We're working to bring him in. So, just stick with us, and you're going to see some of the best wrestling that you're going to find in the area.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Love it. Love it. Love it. But thank you so much for your time, Don. Again, the door's always open. Whenever you want to come on. Absolutely. Anytime. Like I said, door's always open. Anytime you want to come talk, just let me know. We'll have you on the show, man.
Definitely. I appreciate it. Love being here. So thank you very much. And thanks for everybody that supports us. If you've seen the Dragonslayer show, if you followed us on social media, we really appreciate your support, and hope we continue to have you as a fan going forward.
Absolutely. JJ, any final words, sir?
Look, man, it was a pleasure. I am super excited about the card. I'm excited about Dragonslayer as a whole. And if you guys didn't sell me enough on this show doing this interview, y'all had me sold at food truck and a full bar. So I will definitely lock it in my calendar to be there at the Ridgely. Cannot wait to experience this whole thing live in person. And we say it on every show. The door is always open. I can't wait to talk more wrestling with you, Don. Kelvin, thank you again, because this is always fun. And, if y'all like what you're hearing, you like what you're seeing, make sure you stay tuned to the No Gimmicks podcast here on the DFPN. We've got a lot of things coming, and I said it last time. I want to spoil it a little bit. I want to let you in on the secrets, but you got to stay tuned if you want to see all the good things happening across the Texas indie scene.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Couldn't have put it better. With that, we're out of here, folks. Thank you guys for tuning in for the show tonight. But like we always say, have fun, be safe, enjoy what you're going to enjoy. Peace.
And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmicks, gimmicks.